One story I forgot to tell from the show a couple of weeks back. We're in Geelong, and I was doing the meet and greet. Now, I'm already having a bit of a bumpy run this tour in regards to accidentally being an asshole to my lovely, I was going to say fans, I don't like that word, but, you know, the lovely people who come to see my show. I had an incident in Shepparton, which I talked about on the podcast, where I said, what do you get up to in the world gym, big boy? And it turns out it was not a big boy. It was a girl. And she seemed offended. A bit of an update on that one. Her name was Jamie. She's lovely. She still thinks it's super funny. She messaged me a few weeks later saying, hey, just so you know, pretty funny. I thought you'd like to know this. All my friends and family call me big boy now. Even her mum, who was with her at the show. Her mum started it. So, and I was like, I'm so sorry. She goes, nah, it's great. So, yeah, she's got a nickname, which is pretty rough. So everyone she walks into the kitchen, and I think people go like, she said, I walk into the kitchen and people go like, you know, what do you want for dinner tonight, big boy? Pretty rough. And I'm sorry that I've started that for you, Jamie, but you know, you can't fight nicknames in this country. You get what you're given, unfortunately. And that's and I have to live with that for the rest of my life, that moment. And it was pretty rough. A couple of rough ones happened on the weekend, but a couple of weeks ago, I can't believe I forgot to tell this story. All right, I'm in the meet and greet, taking photos with people. Now, all you got to know is that for once, there's usually music happening in the background of a meet and greet because it's at a bar or something. And music just helps the ambience of any crowded room. I think we can agree. Just like some background noise to, you know, to hide your conversation a bit so you're not talking too loud. And we're in this quiet foyer. There was no background music. I'm meeting everyone, so which means pretty much 30 people in the line back can almost hear every interaction I have with whoever's at the front of the line, taking a photo, saying hi or whatever. So everyone's kind of listening to me because there's not a lot else to do. Or they're buying merch or whatever. So there's not too much chatter in the room. This bloke comes up with his girlfriend. I meet him, you know, and he goes, all right, jump in for the photo. So his girlfriend jumps in for the photo. He's taking it, and he starts going to town on the photo button. Just going bang, 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 bang. And he's like fucking like really like I was like, all right, you know how people like take multiple photos?
Yeah.
They sometimes take a selfie as a meme on someone else's phone. Suck shit, now you have to delete these. Look, it's a 5 out of 10, that joke. I thought he was doing that, right? He's gone bang, 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 bang. And I just go, all right, mate, yeah, you've taken enough. Like, slow down with the rapid fire, champ. Like, trying to get a laugh out of his girlfriend. Like, I'm kind of saying it in jest. And he's doing this. And then he goes, oh, no, I actually have Parkinson's. Oh, the silence in that room after that was deafening. A few people in the line go, oh, he's done it again. Because I think at that show, I'd already talked about what happened in Shepparton on stage. Yeah. And then in the meet and greet, I'd do another one. He thought it was hilarious, thank God. His girlfriend thought it was funny, but god damn, I felt so bad. Because it was just such an innocent mistake because I wasn't really watching his hand tremor. I was kind of just watching his thumb. Yeah. And his thumb was like bang, 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 bang. Like, and I was thinking like, regardless, like, yes, he had Parkinson's, but I also think he would have taken a fair few, but accidentally because of the tremor or whatever. Yeah. But he was quite young, and it's just so like, you know, obviously you can get it when you're young, but he was probably like my age, and I was just like, it's just so unlikely. Like, it's way more likely that someone's just taking the piss out of their girlfriend than someone that young having it. And man, it was a bit of we had a good chuckle about it, but god damn, rough. And I don't know what it is. I just always dig myself holes. It's because I have no filter. And same thing happened in Albury. A ripper bloke in the front row. His name was Thomas. Great chap. He was on a first date with a girl in the front row. So we're kind of getting to know these people in the front. Turns out it's the strangest first date of all time. The girl who's on the date is sitting next to her mum on a first date at the show, and the guy has brought his sister and a couple of her friends.
Yeah.
So I was like, hang on, what? This is the strangest first date of all time. Then it comes out that the girl, she's like, oh, I'm like, isn't this weird having the mum on the date? What are you guys doing? And she's like, oh no, it's not weird. I already know his family. I used to date his brother. And I go, what? I'm like, now you're dating the older brother. She goes, yeah. And then and there was only a month between the two relationships. I was like, oh god damn, this is getting regional as fuck. I thought I was in Tasmania, you know? And then this guy is the most confident dude I've ever seen. He's joking about going for the 3-way with his date and her mum out loud. Like his mum's sitting there and he's like, yeah, buddy, might be a threesome or whatever. And I was like, what are you doing? And the guy had no shoes on. The confidence to take your shoes off during a first date and just sit there with his stinky socks out, and he's got like 4 beers in front of him. He's chilling. He's having a great time watching the show. Rip a bloke. I signed his ass afterwards. You know, he's that kind of energy. Rip a bloke. And so it was fucking hilarious, man. We're having this back and forth. You probably will see it on my YouTube channel, I reckon. It was pretty funny. Yeah. And we'll see. But yeah, we're kind of going back and forth. And then later in the show, I do that bit in my show about fetishes that you might have seen online. And he goes, oh yeah, some people have a fetish of being into cancer patients. And all you got to know is I've gone pretty hard on this guy throughout the show. Like I've gone to town on him being like, mate, you are not going to get a second date. This is fucked. You're drunk. You have no shoes on. The mum's there. The girl's like, at this point, it's like, what have I done? I'm like, there is going to be no date too. So I've gone pretty hard on this bloke. And then he goes, oh, yeah, some girls have a kink for cancer patients. I go, oh, how do you know that? And by the way, this is 30 seconds after I've just made a Make-A-Wish joke. He goes, oh, because I've had cancer for 7 years. And the whole crowd just goes, oh, fuck. And I'm just at this point, I'm just thinking like, how does this keep happening to me? That is so unlucky.
Yeah.
Like he didn't look like he had cancer. He was wearing a beanie, but I just thought regional Victoria, you know, there was a lot of people wearing caps and stuff in the crowd. That's just what people in regional Victoria, New South Wales do. So, yeah, sorry, it wasn't regional Victoria. Albury is over the border, but same shit. So he was great about it. He thought it was funny, but oh boy, I dug myself a hole. That one was hard to get out of.
Yeah.
I kind of just moved on. I was just like, oh my God. I made a couple more Make-A-Wish jokes and then was like, I'm just going to... I think I pointed... That's what I did. I pointed at the girl and I was like, oh, this explains why you're with him. You're his wish. And then everyone just went, Jesus Christ. And I just had to move on. It was fucked. But yeah, a bit of bloody fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's all right. So he was a good sport about it afterwards. And that's what I've been loving this year is like every time I have one of these awkward scenarios, it's never offended anyone, which is great. So yeah, man, he was a ripper bloke at the end. Great to meet. It's so cool to meet people with interesting stories and stuff afterwards. And yeah, so I appreciate everyone coming out. The shows have been so much fun. LukeKidgell.com.